Manifest, unmanifest, secret Guru and Mahatma. The Guru, who can be seen and is known to everyone as Guru, is the manifested Guru. The Guru who doesn't show himself as Guru and lives somewhere known only to his devotees, who are small in number and unknown to all else, is the unmanifested Guru. The Guru, who is even more inaccessible and lives in great secrecy, practically unknown, is secret Guru. He will be a great Brahmagnani. He keeps to himself and is always immersed in bliss. He silently awaits to see if he comes across anyone with appropriate merit and caliber. A Mahatma means an incarnation. To uplift and liberate certain advanced devotees, God himself assumes an appropriate form and appears before those fortunate and blessed souls. Mahatma grants Sayujya Mukti, meaning merging and becoming one with God, in 3 different ways. He may or may not give guidance through words. His mere touch can give mukti to one. He is so powerful. His compassionate look alone can liberate one. If he just says a word or two, that is sufficient. If he just says, "Go, you will have fulfillment," that is sufficient. That person will definitely obtain salvation. Like this, by his mere look, by mere touch, by merely uttering a word or two, a Mahatma can grant mukti. One who can, if he develops love towards a devotee, either by mere look or by touch or by a word, grant mukti, is a real Guru, a Mahatma, in fact God himself in human form. There are many other Gurus who teach, preach, give detailed guidance, sermons and pravachanas. But a Sadguru, a saint, even without giving any guidance or pravachanas, can, if he wants, do anything. He is Nirguna, meaning attributeless, Nirakara, meaning formless, eternal reality itself. Vedas and Upanishads are nothing before him. No dharma shastras, meaning scriptural injunctions, no traditions and conventions, no do's and don'ts apply to him. He transcends all these. One should simply bow his head with great reverence and stand before him in all humility. That's all. One should implicitly listen and obey whatever he says. That's all. Rules and restrictions such as one should worship this particular god, one should repeat this particular mantra, etc., are not there for such a Mahatma. It is enough if his Kripa Kataksha falls on anyone, his life attains fruition and fulfillment. Nobody can know or understand him in full. His is far beyond everyone's thoughts and imaginations. No one can predict his actions and behavior. God also is like this only. Our sense organs cannot know him. We can't even acclaim or eulogize him properly. He is under no one's control. We cannot catch him with our hands and feet. He is Purna, infinite, absolute and boundless. Self-realized saints who are one with him are also like him. He is subtler than the subtlest. They are as subtle as he is. However much we try, it is not at all possible to know, understand, or measure them with our minds and intellects. Call him Guru or God. Both are the same. But to our eyes, Guru appears as body with form. That is the only difference. But even his body is a great wonder. Within that body, the whole universe is there. It may appear to be an ordinary body, but within it, there is infinite power. We cannot see that power with our eyes. We can only experience it. The worth of worldly relationships. Once there was a king. He was a good and benevolent king. He was ruling his kingdom well. He was very fond of his subjects as well as his wife and children. After enjoying the pomp and luxury of being a king for a long time, he got fed up of all this grandeur and developed dispassion. He used to feel sometimes, enough of all these things. Let me have God realization and enjoy permanent bliss. Though the urge to give everything up was strong, it used to be short-lived. In looking after the onerous affairs of his kingdom, he would not find time to think calmly and deeply of God and God realization. Still, once in a while, he was thinking of doing sadhana and getting self-realization. One day, he was walking in the palace garden. A yogi appeared before him, gave him a mango fruit, and told him, "I'm giving this fruit to you because I'm very fond of you. You eat this. This will do you immense good. You will yourself realize it later." The king took the fruit, but did not eat it himself. He gave it to his wife, of whom he was very fond of. The queen, too, didn't eat it, but gave it to some gent, of whom she was very fond of. He gave it to some servant maid of the palace, of whom he was fond of. That maid was very fond of the king and gave it to him. The king was surprised beyond measure that he got back the same fruit that he had given to his beloved queen. He questioned the maid. "This fruit was given to me by a yogi. Who gave this to you? Tell the truth." She told the truth. He got the person and questioned him. He said the queen gave it to him. Though the king was very fond of his wife, she was not equally fond of him. She was fond of someone else. That person was fond of the servant maid, but the servant maid was fond of the king. From this incident, the king learnt a valuable lesson. He thought within himself, "What a great fool I am! Though I am so fond of my wife, she doesn't love me. She loves someone else. He doesn't love the queen, but loves someone else. All relationships are like this only. How much I have been duped by the queen! What all I did for her sake has become utterly useless. Only I was having so much faith and belief in her. Why? All for nothing. In reality, no one is related to any other in this world. All relationships are false." Then the king remembered the yogi and said to himself, "Though I didn't know the yogi, only that guru has a real compassion and love for me. Once in a while, I used to think of God and hanker after him, and that too only for a short time. Even then, the all-compassionate guru came and gave me the fruit. Though I didn't eat it, it has brought about this enlightenment in me. Ah, only Guru is truly our savior." Having come to this conclusion, he ate the fruit, gave up the kingdom, and left for getting God realization. Like the king, we too have excessive attachments to father, mother, brother, sister, and all such relationships for nothing at all, really. No one loves another simply for nothing. Everyone will have some self-interest or the other. Whenever one develops some relationship with the other, whenever one shows love, affection, friendship, or some such good and endearing sentiment, the moment something goes wrong in that relationship, dislike, hatred, enmity immediately spring up in the place of love and affection that prevailed earlier. Real love expects nothing in return. This kind of love is totally absent in all worldly relationships. All the love we know of has selfishness and self-interest, either explicitly or concealed within. God alone has real and unselfish love towards one and all. He expects nothing in return from his devotees. But still, what a flood of love, compassion, and grace he has for them. That is why it is enough if one earns his love. Then he needs nothing from anybody else in the world. He loves his devotee so much that he foresees when his devotee feels tired and hungry and provides for all his needs well in advance and protects him. Can worldly relatives do this? What can they do after all? They will only talk superficially, that's all. But we cannot get rid of our excessive attachments, infatuation, and other such delusions all by ourselves. Only he, or Guru, has to do it for us. Guru makes the devotees themselves suffer excruciatingly for their deep attachments and delusions, and ultimately frees them from all such delusions. Guru does not merely accept a devotee. To whatever things or persons a devotee is deeply attached to, the Guru makes them turn against the devotee himself, and then ultimately frees him from their clutches. Like the king, we too have excessive attachments to father, mother, brother, sister, and all such relationships for nothing at all, really. No one loves another simply for nothing. Everyone will have some self-interest or the other. Whenever one develops some relationship with the other, whenever one shows love, affection, friendship, or some such good and endearing sentiment, the moment something goes wrong in that relationship, dislike, hatred, enmity immediately spring up in the place of love and affection that prevailed earlier. Real love expects nothing in return. This kind of love is totally absent in all worldly relationships. All the love we know of has selfishness and self-interest either explicitly or concealed within. God alone has real and unselfish love towards one and all. He expects nothing in return from his devotees. But still, what a flood of love, compassion, and grace he has for them. That is why it is enough if one earns his love. Then he needs nothing from anybody else in the world. He loves his devotee so much that he foresees when his devotee feels tired and hungry and provides for all his needs well in advance and protects him. Can worldly relatives do this? What can they do after all? They will only talk superficially, that's all. But we cannot get rid of our excessive attachments, infatuation, and other such delusions all by ourselves. Only he, or the Guru, has to do it for us. Guru makes the devotees themselves suffer excruciatingly for their deep attachments and delusions, and ultimately frees them all from all such delusions. Guru does not merely accept a devotee. To whatever things or persons a devotee is deeply attached to, the Guru makes them turn against the devotee himself, and then ultimately frees him from their clutches. God responds, hiding inside. Let the body be in any part of the world. God continues to reside inside it all the same. It may appear strange, but it is true that he may respond to our intense, innermost feelings in his own mysterious way, often through someone of his own choosing. It is important that we understand this. God's ways are always very mysterious, highly esoteric in nature, and may be difficult to comprehend. Though the others, not concerned, may not be able to know, he knows how to make it known to that person to whom it is meant for. Whoever is mad after him and is hectically exerting himself to reach him, it is enough if that person comes to know that God is responding to him. He may come in any strange form, but he will make the concerned person know that he alone has come to him. The way he talks, the way he looks, the way he behaves will all be very strange and funny. But he will be overflowing with love and compassion. One word from him, one simple sentence from him is sufficient. It will have unbelievable force and power behind it. But again, at that particular moment, the concerned devotee may not know the purpose or the purport of his utterance. He, however, sees to it that the devotee understands it when he is away from him. He resides in subtle form in the innermost recess of the devotee's heart itself. He goes on responding and fulfilling the devotee's needs and desires. He gives him joy and peace. And one day he will reveal himself to him in all his splendor and glory. Fleeting joys or resplendent vision of reality. Which do you want? Man never gets tired of repeatedly enjoying the fleeting joys, comforts, and luxuries of the world. Even the endless repetition of the same pleasures and enjoyments again and again throughout one's life does not give him satisfaction and contentment. He becomes a permanent slave to them. He doesn't mind taking birth again and again for their sake. Even if he takes any number of births, his desires do not decrease. On the other hand, they go on increasing only. He is never able to say or feel, "I have had enough of them, I don't want them anymore." But finally, one should get fed up of these pleasures and enjoyments. He should get totally fed up of the kind of life he is leading. He should realize finally that he can try as hard as he likes throughout his life, he can never get real happiness and peace of mind from the fleeting things of the world. He should strongly feel that he is leading a miserable and wretched life, and that he should end it at any cost. Then his intellect and the power of discretion in him should assert themselves and make him realize that a different kind of life is there and is possible. He should come to know that there is such a thing as God or reality or truth, and it is worthwhile walking on the path that leads to Him. It is only then that he will be able to reduce his wants and desires. The fleeting joys of the world and the resplendent vision of the reality, both are there before him. The Guru says, select what you want. If you feel you can find real and everlasting happiness in the things of the world, go ahead and find it. If the devotee says no, there is no real happiness in them, then the Guru says, well then, come to me. I will show you how to get eternal peace, joy, and bliss. Test by the Guru. The Guru tests the devotee hundreds of times. He tests him to find out whether the devotee really wants the Guru and Guru only. He will put before him any number of attractions and goes on observing him, unseen by the devotee. This is natural. If we desire to reach that supreme state and attain eternal peace, bliss, and joy, if we want to cross over this boundless ocean of birth and death, is it so easy? The Guru waits and watches whether the devotee falls an easy prey to these trivial and worthless worldly attractions. By enticing him with these attractions, he teaches him invaluable lessons also. Finally, the Guru pulls the devotee to himself. The all-pervading, nameless, and formless eternal reality. God is the one and only one eternal reality. We are calling him through any number of languages and names. Calling him Shiva or Rama, it reaches him only. He goes on showering his grace on everyone, depending upon how and with what intensity of feeling each one is calling on him. The intensity of feeling and craving is all that matters. Otherwise, by what name you call him, in what form you worship him, and how you imagine him to be, make no difference at all. Whatever name one is fond of, one can remember him through that name itself. If you call him Jagadishvara or Sripada Vallabha, in reality, you are only calling on that eternal reality. How you call him and with what intensity of devotion, feeling, and craving is all that matters. Why you are calling him and why you are craving for him, this is important. How wealthy you are, what luxuries you are enjoying, the status and honors you enjoy, these are worthless before him. You have to give up all these, including your over-attachment to and over-fondness for your body, and then surrender to him in all humility. You should be prepared to sacrifice everything for his sake. That he should gather you up when you leave your body, this should be your only prayer. Even if you retain some little attachment to the worldly things, then you have no place with him. There should be no such thing as mine in your heart. You should understand fully that everything is his grace, his blessing, and his divine play. If we want him, who is all in all and has become everything, where is the place for this me and mine, for this meaningless pride and arrogance? What does it matter if someone here gives you importance or not? What will you do with all the honor and prestige that may have been heaped upon you? Everything is momentary, transitory, and not at all permanent. None of them is eternal. None of them can exist forever. And what we will be in the next moment, nobody knows. Therefore, we should see that somehow we please Him and become dear to Him. Somehow we should reach Him. We should obtain His grace and blessings. Sadhguru loves and accepts real inner devotion. Just as we invite our friends, relatives, and well-wishers to dine with us, we should not invite our Guru to visit our house and take food. If we do so, we would be causing unnecessary trouble to him. Guru does not visit the devotee's house just for the sake of taking food. He comes only for the sake of the devotee's devotion. If he accepts anything, he just takes a little bit of something, whatever is offered and in whatever condition it is, as he values most only the devotee's sincere faith and devotion. If one invites him by mere empty words, that is, with no genuine feelings behind them, he is not going to come. But if one calls him from deep inside one's heart, he equally responds to that call of the devotee and bestows complete satisfaction to him. Such a coming will be to reside permanently in the devotee's heart till the end of his life. Mere outward show will not serve any purpose. He does not at all like mere external show of good hospitality. He will be eagerly waiting with a little bit of genuine love and devotion in the whole affair, and if he finds the same, he will be very happy to pick it up. Mind the Savior. Devotee. Inner feeling and devotion, how will it be? Is there any pattern, probity, and any other distinct characteristic to it? Appa. A true devotee's heart will always be throbbing and pining to reach the eternal reality. He will be ever ready to give up everything for his sake. There is so much to learn by observing small children. If they get attracted by some object, they will rivet their total attention to it and will not divert to anything else. We should also be like that. The delusive power of the innumerable attractions of the world will also be pulling back the person going towards God. But a real devotee will not allow himself to be distracted by all these pulls. He will continue his Godward journey by remaining supremely indifferent to these pulls. Even when he is engaged in conversation with others, his main attention should be towards God only. The mere presence of a real devotee makes any place a temple. No one will be able to divert his mind from God and make it get interested in worldly affairs. Wherever he is, his mind will always remain firm in God contemplation only. One should become like this. Craving for God intensely, he should remain absorbed in dhyana and God remembrance, and no one should be able to make him get interested in anything else. How to reach such a state? One should develop unshakable faith in the Guru and should also possess firm conviction that the Guru will grant him mukti. Then the Guru will take complete charge of the devotee's burden upon himself. He will make the devotee to go through the necessary sadhana that liberates him. Once the devotee develops complete faith in and real devotion for the Guru, thereafter the Guru will look after the interests of the devotee. When the devotee begins accepting everything as Guru's will, then the Guru also gets very much concerned with the devotee. It means that the devotee has reached his goal, that he has attained his life's desire. It is not just the devotee's uttering in words that he has surrendered his all to the Guru and then keeping quiet doing nothing. Guru will test his words as to whether he has really given up all attachments to everything. Telling before other devotees that everything always happens according to God's will, and when engaged in worldly affairs, telling others that I have done this and I will do this. This kind of double standard does not work. Talking is very easy, but submitting oneself to Guru's test is extraordinarily difficult. Guru is limitless. It is difficult to realize his real greatness. I'm telling this out of experience. I'm not telling after reading books and learning from Shastras. Guru puts each and every word of the devotee to acid test. He has no other ulterior motive in doing this. He is only concerned that the devotee understands the real significance of what he himself is telling, and that he is really getting transformed and enriched by his association with the Guru. Guru knows what is going on in each devotee's mind, what each one is desiring, everything. One need not beg and pester the Guru to get what he wants. Wherever the devotee might be, he is not far from the Guru. He may be right in front of the Guru or in some far-off corner of the world. The Guru knows what is going on in the devotee's mind. If he desires anything from the Guru at any time, anywhere, Guru knows, and he will fulfill his desire. Remaining far off, if the devotee intensely desires to be near his Guru and serve him personally, the Guru sends for him immediately and fulfills his desire. The devotee will be overjoyed beyond measure, and this bliss will remain with him for the rest of his life. The grace and blessing the Guru bestows upon the devotee of his own free will and out of his compassion and love for the devotee will endure for a long time. If the devotee tries to force this out of him by pestering him and constantly demanding it, the Guru will just ignore him. It is bad for the devotee to entertain such demands within himself. He will have to pay a heavy price for it and will have to suffer much unnecessarily. The Guru will be testing the devotee's patience and forbearance in order to make his heart and mind strong. Life is a passing show. How strong is the belief in everyone that what they see before them with their own eyes is alone real? When the seer himself is not real, how can you take what he sees as real? What can you take as real when the seer, the observer, the experiencer himself will not be there? It is from that one eternal reality alone that everything has emerged, that what we call nature, that is Prakriti, has emerged. God has created all living creatures. He has created the Maya, or the delusive power. He makes living beings enamored of and infatuated with various things exhibited by nature. He has endowed human beings with intelligence and power of discretion. They have the capacity to distinguish between what is real and what is unreal, between what is temporary and what is eternal. Then he sits and watches. He tells human beings to find out what is real, either he or the perishing things of the world. But you people discard him and catch hold of the things of the world. You are seeing with your own eyes that things seen are disappearing. What you see with your eyes today will not be there tomorrow. Proper realization that the same fate awaits me is true knowledge. One who is established in this truth as a jnani, meaning enlightened one. Outwardly, a jnani will be like anyone else. He will be undergoing sufferings and miseries of life like anyone else. But inside, he will not be suffering or grieving over anything. We should understand that happenings in our lives are like a passing show, just like the happenings on a movie or cinema screen. On the cinema screen, so many people will be enacting so many things. The one who is crying on the screen is not in real sorrow. That person is only acting, that's all. If one appears to be in great difficulty on screen, that person is not in any difficulty really. If a person gets killed there, that person is not really dead. The so-called actual happenings in the world are also exactly like the scenes we witness on the screen. They are not at all real. In reality, there is no sorrow in the world, no difficulty or misery. No one is causing or can cause any sorrow or misery to another. All happenings are mere appearances, mere shadows with no substance or reality in them. One should realize and live in this truth.